Well, after that, arousal from Willem. What do you reckon the...
Arousal?
Yeah, arousal, mate. He's trying to arouse us, mate.
Oh, right. You're aroused, I wasn't. Yeah.
Mate,
Smooth talker. Smooth operator.
This isn't ASMR.
I know, yeah. Three Brummy lads having a conversation and put a podcast.
Yeah.
Sam's aroused.
I know, yeah. Bloody hell.
He's not the only one.
Well,
He is.
well, on that one. Hello and welcome to the Every Week We Follow podcast, the Aston Villa podcast where we share views on everything Villa related, including pre-match views, match reaction, highlights of past and present, statistics and more. My name is Sam Rayworth, editor of the website. I have with me Villa season ticket holders and away game regulars, Willem Rayworth and Reece Lloyd. Back this week with some, fingers crossed this has worked, new audio equipment. Very good audio equipment, we like to think.
I'm looking like a prime Liam Gallagher
Yeah,
at the
Willem
moment.
has been singing into his microphone,
Hands behind the back.
hands behind his back.
I said maybe. They can't see this, so they actually they have no idea.
Another note, you will be able to see us soon once we've got the camera, but not yet.
For your sins.
Yeah.
Yeah, for your sins.
Stop the office quotes now.
So yeah, obviously, first game back after the international break. Couple of good lads. Aaron Ramsey got called up to the under-21s.
Yeah.
Don't think he featured at all.
No, he didn't. No.
But big enough anyway. He's what's he, 18 still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the under-21s.
It's not bad, is it?
Not bad at all.
Not bad at
all. Obviously, Chelsea reaction. I think this is the first time after getting battered 3-0, I'm actually okay. I think that was. I'm happy with the. I'm not happy with the result, but I'm happy with the performance.
Yeah, I think when we played Liverpool a couple of seasons ago and they came to Villa Park, remember they a bit of a snatch and grab, they won 2-1, was it? And I said then, we've just been beaten by the champions, and I said the same on Saturday. I think we've lost the team we're going to win the league this year. I think they didn't have to do much, they were just so clinical. I know the second goal was a big error from Mings, but looking at Lukaku in that game, he had two chances, and he's buried both of them, hasn't he? And that's why you pay the big money for those sorts of players. And I think teams who are that good, they can play games, not do much and win 3-0. You know, and that's the big difference in terms of quality. I think, look, we made a really good account of ourselves. I thought we fluffed a few chances, didn't we? There were certain attacks where I think we kind of again fluffed almost the passes through in the final third as well. But all in all, much more positive than we were before the break. I'd like to think we can start to kind of get into our stride now a bit.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, like you said, it was a good performance, great performance even. Apart from if you minus the 3 goals, I think. Yeah, well, the first goal was just absolute magical from Kovacic, and he's put that ball through to Lukaku. And as soon as Lukaku's through, there's only one really result, and then Twanzebe gets sat down, and Konza couldn't get across in time, and Steer had one side of his goal open, and he just put it in there. It was just. I mean, it was wizardry from Kovacic, and if when Lukaku goes in one-on-one, there's usually only one result from that. But we responded really well to that, created probably about 3 or 4 good chances. I think, like you said, if that's the difference, Lukaku was the difference on the day, pretty much. Well, the quality was the difference on the day, and if we had Lukaku playing for us, and if we swapped one of our strikers for Lukaku, at the end of the day, we win the game. And that's why they've spent so much money on him, and what a signing it's looking out to be. And he could be the guy that leads them to the title. I'm not too sure. I think it's going to be between them, Man City and United. It's going to be a good title race, to be fair.
Yeah, it'd be decent, wouldn't it, I think.
But yeah, back to Villa. I think we gave a good account of ourselves. Again, at the start of the season, I said we want to see Jacob Ramsey making more risks, taking more risks in the game, and he's starting to do that. And now we're seeing that the player that he can be. I thought he was excellent in the first half, especially. Quite harsh for him to come off. I thought he was doing well, but you know, you've got to change something. We had to change something, and we made those changes. Wouldn't drop him. I don't think you can drop him really for Saturday, but all in all, a good performance. Shame about the goals. We could have made such a more of a game just by taking some chances. Obviously, Watkins had a few. some of Watkins' chances, if they fell to Danny Ings, would it have been a different? Probably would have had a different outcome, if we're honest. Just disappointed in the sense that, you know, because the game could have had such a different result if we had done certain things differently, if we would have taken a shot a little bit earlier, if we would have, you know, made that final pass a little bit better, made the right decision in the final third. But, you know, that's going to come with playing together. I think we've said over the last couple of weeks anyway, or at least I have, that I don't think we were never going to be, you know, playing the best that we can, you know, this early on in the season, because we're a complete new attacking lineup, really, aren't we? So it is going to take time. At least we're seeing some good performances and we're seeing some potential, and that was without Buendia as well. Obviously Martinez not in goal as well. Maybe he could have made a difference.
Yeah.
And then obviously Mings, well, we've seen him do it a couple of times, haven't we? But yeah, you know, we forgive him. You know, he does a lot more better than he does bad. You know, he's our captain at the moment. We've got to stay behind him. There's no point anyone, you know, making compilation videos on Twitter or of his mistakes, because it just doesn't help anyone, really, does it? You know, he's come out and he's made a good tweet after the game, accepted the responsibility, and he's going to move on from it, and he'll move on a better player.
He has got to cut it out, though, because I think that there's some stat that he's made more errors, the most errors in the last few seasons in the Premier League than any other player, hasn't he? I think.
I think it's still only 4 though.
It's not a big. But look, that's not taking into account games where he's been man of the match, kept clean sheets, made crucial blocks. So yeah, it's been a give or take with Mings, isn't it? Yeah. I think overall, in terms of Saturday, the positives for me were that we went 5 at the back, but say 5 at the back, 3 at the back with two backs. Yeah. In the games like Chelsea away, and I expect us to do the same probably against Man United, I think it's the right move. I think you know, we've got the personnel to do that now. I think Mings, Konza and Tuanzebe are more than capable of playing that formation. I'd argue that Mings should be in the centre of that 3, to be honest. I think with a left
footer, you know, he can get up and he can help out target much more than maybe Tuanzebe can.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. Tuanzebe kind of he had a real good game against Brentford, I thought. He did get caught napping. Not napping for the first, but I think he kind of committed himself a bit too soon. But there's definitely something in there for the tougher sides that you can do that. I think one thing we've been moaning about since the start of the season is the midfield. We look like we found a balance in that midfield now. I think Luiz is playing really well. Yep. It's looking sharp. JJ, you know, he's really moving the ball forward. He's actually making an impact in games now. So I almost feel like, even though we have lost the game, there's positives taken in terms of you start to see us kind of blend in now and you know, find a bit of an identity in the team. I think the big thing for us now is next week. You've got Buendia and Bailey who will be probably there and ready available. So, you know, what do you do? I think you're going to have to probably drop a striker, to be honest, if you want to accommodate those two. And probably go 4 at the back as well. I was surprised that Ashley Young didn't start, to be honest, because I think in terms of who's been better at fullback this season, I'd probably say he's been our best fullback when played in that position. I understand it though, because you need, when you're playing wing backs, you ideally need a left foot and a right foot on either side. But I think if we're going to go 4, if I'd go 4 at the back against Everton, I would play Ashley Young personally. That's my opinion.
I think Ashley Young played left wing back for Inter Milan week in, week out. Yeah. So I was surprised that if he was going to do that, why would he choose that? But however, I can't say he had a bad performance.
Yeah, it's one of them.
It's just one of them.
We've got the options
to
mix it up. I think in a 4 at the back, I think I've been more impressed with Young this season than Matty Target. So we've got options. I think the key now is for us to kind of to crack down with pretty much a fully fit squad. I'm guessing on Saturday it could be, couldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ashley Young has been more impressive, I'd say, yes, than Matt Target this season, but Ashley Young is 36 years old. We can't really rely on him too much this season. We have still got to progress Matt Target. He's not a bad player. He's had a tough start to this season. We've still got to stand by him. We've still got to give him first dibs in that starting lineup, really. But I'm like you. I mean, I'm never against playing Ashley Young because he's came in and he's proved people did question the signing straight away. I think everyone pretty much came round to it when it got to game week 1, and no one's even questioning it now. He looks fit as a fiddle, and what a signing it's going to be. Can play a few different positions as well. Saturday, I wouldn't be against seeing him at left back.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're probably going to revert to a back four. I can't
think
see
so.
us keeping, especially with Bailey banging on that door now, Buendia coming back. You know, I don't think you can fit them into the side unless you go for a very narrow front three. But you still lose one of the strikers, don't you? You still lose one of the strikers.
You're missing out on that. We've got Bailey, we've signed Buendia, we've got Traore, who's been, you know, he put a good name for himself, and we thought, you know what, he can kick on next season.
Yeah.
And we can't. It's unfortunate because I really did like the formation. I thought it's the first time really I've seen him properly experiment with the formation.
Yeah.
And it worked to a point. Obviously we lost 3-0, but you can't fit any of those three players that you mentioned in that formation at all.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to compensate a striker though, to be honest. I think he really wants it to work with them pair up front, and I think he's got every right to do that, because I think when them pair find that, I think they're still finding their feet as a partnership, aren't they? And it does take time with a front two, and I think when they do find that, when they do hit that you know, that sweet spot where they really understand each other, I think we'll score goals for fun. So even though I wouldn't say no to dropping a striker on Saturday, I don't think he's going to do it. Because otherwise, you're just going to keep chopping and changing. They're not going to be able to build that partnership together, are they?
In that case, we can go 4-4-2, and then your question is really, because your two wide players are obviously going to be your two first choice wide players with the strongest side out. Everyone's in form: are Bailey and Buendia, and then your two midfield. Is Jacob missing out? Is it Douglas and John? You know,
it's a tough one, isn't it?
But it's good problems to have.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think when we start winning some games, which I think will happen, the side will automatically pick itself. Like last season, let's be honest, in game week 1, other than probably say when we signed Ross Barker and he was dicking about in terms of performance levels, the side pretty much picked itself, didn't it? To be honest.
Yeah. Well,
so
we didn't have a lot on the bench.
We didn't, did we? And I think it's part of a team. Like we've said it before. If you're gonna do things in this division, you want to push on. These are the problems that you need to have.
Yeah.
So it's not a massive issue, to be honest, is it?
Well, it's also a positive that we can play those two different formations as well.
It's a massive positive. I mean, I forgot what I was going to say, so it doesn't matter.
No, it is positive. And you're forgetting that you've got Carney and Badais who are still flirting around that team as well. So there's options there, isn't there? So I think it'd be interesting. We'll talk about it next week in the build up to Chelsea in the Cup and United. But I still think we should really go for it in that Cup game next week.
And I think we will to a point. What I was going to say, which I remembered, was I think when you're talking about all these formations and where you do it, I do think that the two people that are undroppable at the moment are Ramsey and McGinn.
Yeah, I'd probably say so. Yeah, but it depends if you want to. I probably wouldn't go Ramsey McGinn as a duo, to be honest. You leave yourself a bit open.
I agree. So I don't think you should alleviate away from a three in the midfield, and I don't really think it's ever worked when we've played. Well, it has worked, but it's not been that great. We've not had the best results with a two in midfield, even when we used to play 4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
it didn't. It did. We just get pounded.
You do leave yourself a bit open, don't you? To be honest. It'll be interesting to see what he does. I trust him to make the right call. And I think when we do land on the winning formula, and I mean I know we've won this season, but consistently, I think it'll be fine. Yeah. We're just going through a bit of a transition period, aren't we? A bit of a wanky thing to say. We're gelling, aren't we? Because we are a bit of a new unit, aren't we? To be fair.
Yeah. I think it's still positive times. After you can't really see a performance like that. You take the result on the occasion. The performance like that to go to Stamford Bridge. Play that Chelsea side with some of those names not only in the starting lineup but on the bench. That's you can't really complain at all. We've done really well, and it was it's never going to be easy. And we played well. Played some nice free flowing attacking football. Just we said it earlier on, didn't we? In the season, if we're going to do anything this season, we have to be potent in front of the goal. We have to be clinical, and that's a result when you're not. Yeah. So. And also, on another note, this week someone give Matty Cash 100 balls from the right hand side of the pitch and let him cross the ball, because I don't know, I can't remember the last time he actually made a successful cross. His crossing is the most frustrating thing. If he's not going to Matty Cash, if he's not going to cross, if he's not going to make successful crosses, what's the point of dropping Gilbert and sending him out on loan?
He's going out on loan, hasn't he, Gilbert? To be fair. I'm not too fussed about that though, personally.
I haven't concentrated on that, to be fair. Was it you that mentioned it last week?
I said it last week, and then once again this week. All I can't see. He's overhitting them, or he can't pick out anyone, or he's not beating the first man. It's the most frustrating thing at the moment for me.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Next
He's not been overly impressive, Cash, this season, has he? Even being honest with you. But again, you don't want to start writing players off all games this season.
I'm not writing him off.
No, I mean just in general, because a lot of people they will do, won't they? You know.
Yeah.
The one thing I joked about was when Bailey took the ball down and basically did the best part of the game for me, and he megged. Who was it? He megged. He megged someone. It was unreal anyway.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but
Remember.
whoever it was,
He got booked.
Alonso, wasn't it?
And he got booked.
it was Alonso, and he pulled him down.
Megged Alonso, got booked. Let's play Bailey right wing back. That's how you fit him in.
Yeah.
I think a player of his quality has to start, though, don't know.
Yeah. I think he's
so does Buendia, though.
He's banging on the door now. But
Yeah.
also, when we signed Bailey, maybe I'm just taking this a little bit too. I'm not sure what the word is, but Dean Smith said in his press conference, we've just signed. He's a great striker.
Yeah.
So maybe he's an option to. He reckons he could play. He could play up top, but we'll see. I mean, he's got blistering pace in behind, no doubt about that. He scores goals. He's great. He creates goals.
Yeah.
Maybe he's quite fluid to a number of positions. We'll see. Exciting times, I think. I'm really still looking forward to getting down to Villa Park on Saturday. Yeah. First game back.
5:30 kickoff.
5:30 game. We're back under the lights.
Come on.
Get me back in there. Get me back in there.
That's going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't.
It's going to be great. Under the lights.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is those players. Most of those players haven't got a clue what this is going to be.
No. Emmy's back as well.
Emmy's back. First night
under
the lights with the fans. It's going to be chaos.
Yeah, let's get behind them.
I'm looking forward to the game on Saturday. I think out of all the games, I mean, this month's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it, for us? We had Chelsea, twice United. It's probably the one game you look at. We're going to get any points out. This is the game you've got to do it. I think Everton have looked good this season, though, to be honest, and we don't do very well against Rafa Benitez sides, do we? Beaten once.
Well, they're playing tonight, obviously recorded.
Playing Burnley, aren't they? But yeah, I think it's the one game this month where if we're going to take some points, it's going to be from Everton. But I don't think it's going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination, to be honest with you. I would go forward at the back. I think, especially at home. Yeah, I think you got to go for it, haven't you, at home? I'm not saying you don't go for it with your three at the back, because you can play two up top, but I just think at Villa Park, four at the back gives you more room to utilise attacking players.
I'd like to try the 4-4-2, to be honest, but it's a tough one as to who do you lose in the midfield three.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
I don't necessarily think you can, but
I think he's going. There's a big potential that he's going to.
The only problem is with the 4-4-2 for me is that we don't really tend to do too well historically. Well, unless in our era at least, we don't really tend to do too well when we've got to the two midfield and there's that little bit less protection. But if we've got a side, Watkins, Ings up top, Buendia, Bailey on either wing, McGinn and Louise, they've both got energy. Well, McGinn's got bags of energy. Louise, when he's on it, he's a top player.
Yeah.
The back four, as we've seen from last season, can be absolutely rock solid on its day. Emi Martinez, we don't even need to say a word about him.
Yeah.
That's a frightening lineup.
Absolutely.
And if there's any other place to premiere that, apart from 5:30 at Villa Park under the lights, in front of the nation, it's got to be on Sky. Is it on Sky?
Oh, mate,
Then let's do it then. And be absolutely bouncing. Start off on the front foot, get the ball out wide, playing them over the top in behind. We've got lots of options that we can play. I want to see the 4-4-2 ideal. I want to see just go for it. We've got to attack them. Like you said, this is the only game this month that we really need to go into it looking at it as not a must-win, but we have to really pick up points in this game because the other options that we have this month are going to be tough. Not completely that we're not going to win any other game this month, but this is the game that you look at. So you need to pick up points. Let's start on the front foot then. Let's go 4-4-2. Let's put our most exciting players on. Let's get everyone in Villa Park bouncing on a night game under the lights. It's been a long time since we've been there.
Oh,
let's do it.
Stop it! You're exciting me. Well, after that, Arousal from Willem. What do you reckon the
Arousal?
Yeah, arousal, mate. He's trying to arouse us, mate.
Oh, right. You're aroused, I wasn't. Yeah.
Mate,
Smooth talker.
Whoa.
Smooth operator.
This isn't ASMR.
I know, but yeah. Three Brummy lads having a conversation and put a podcast.
Yeah.
Sam's aroused.
I know, yeah. But yeah.
He's not the only one.
Well,
He is.
well, on that one, what's your predictions? What are your predictions?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, I did say, I said that we beat Barrow 6-0.
You also
That was
said we
right.
beat
And then I
Chelsea
said that we beat
6-0.
Chelsea 6-0. Just to try and see, because every time I'd predicted us to win 6-0, we had won 6-0.
Right, okay.
So that's out the window at the moment. It had my win streak there. So
Perfect.
let's go back. I reckon we'll do them 2-0. I can see it. Strong performance. I can just see it really, really excited, free-flowing game from us. And I reckon we're going to do them 2-0.
When was the last Everton game? That was around this time, wasn't it?
August, wasn't it?
Oh, when we played when Wesley scored.
At home.
Yeah, yeah.
Wesley and Garzi scored. And
We
that was
won
a night
2-0
game.
I mean, the home game last year was awful. It was a boring game.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Away from home, we played well then.
Yeah,
We won that
yeah.
one. I think 1-0. I think we'll have
2-0
a real solid defensive performance and a 1-0.
You love those.
Cheeky little, I love a 1-0.
You
Absolutely
love a real
I don't-
solid defensive
I
performance.
love a game, so you know what, we defended well there and we like, snatched a 1-0. Well, I'm saying, I don't think we'll snatch the game, 'cause I think, like Will said, I think we've got players who can really make a difference in that game. I think we would have a go at them. Defensively, they're not too bad nowadays, are they, Everton, to be fair? But Benitez's sides are usually, they're usually solid at the back, aren't they? So, it won't be an easy game, but I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0.
1-0.
He's going for a solid 1-0 performance. I'm asking for free-flowing attacking football. I think that basically shows us as characters what we're after.
I mean, we will play good. I think we'll play some decent football on Saturdays, but I think a 1-0.
I just think we've got a really we can have a real aggressive team. We've played 4-4-2. It can be very similar to that Diego Simeone Atletico side.
It's crazy within one transfer window. We've gone from a pretty structured, we have to play the same formation every week, otherwise we're ruined, to
Three
actually
options.
we can play a lot of
3 or
different
4
types of
options really,
formations.
Can't we, to be fair.
Yeah,
Be interesting though.
very exciting, especially when we're all gelling.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think let's get behind them on Saturday. I know we will. The atmosphere's not been amazing.
No,
The first game back, I was a bit.
Yeah, I think people are almost a bit anxious, aren't they? The atmosphere was really good against Chelsea. I thought the fans are brilliant.
Yeah, great. Could hear it.
But I want Villa Park rocking like it was for that Friday night game. Get it to those levels. You know, get the
against
pub nice and
Everton,
early. Get yourself nice and tanked up and get behind them. Because we will be, won't we? So.
Yeah, we'll be ready for it. We'll be ready for it. I mean, I'm very excited. I can't wait. Back at Villa Park in the lot. There's no better place to be.
No, it's not.
Sam's getting aroused. Let's hope the football can make him as aroused, if not more aroused. We need to stop talking about aroused.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I fancy it. And I think Friday as well, we've got West Brom under 23s at Bodymoor Heath. So we're going to crack down there, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gonna get involved in that one.
So we'll be seeing Aaron Ramsey.
You'd think so, yeah. I think Badace is out, isn't he?
We didn't have a special mention for the man that we can't. I don't know what his name is.
Well,
Erogue Burnham, I think it is.
Scored a belter, didn't he?
He scored an absolute welder against the Norwich kids.
I mean, we didn't even talk about Carney captain was in the 19s or in the 20s.
You did,
Captain, didn't he? So
slid in that.
it wouldn't surprise if he starts on Friday. But yeah, it's good to see what's going on at that level, especially after the Youth Cup last year.
Are we playing Albion on the Friday?
Playing Albion on Friday. It's this
That'll
Friday.
it's always a good game. That is. It's always a good match between the two.
Yeah, I remember
sides.
going like.
We've got most of their team.
Was it 4-3 with Hepburn Murphy? It was a real good game.
Yeah.
4-3 or 3-2. Someone headbutted someone. Mitchell Clark's involved with it.
Mitchell Clark.
No, that was West Ham. Wasn't it? But a big good game though. And I think it's good to get behind him, especially after last year with the Youth Cup and stuff.
You can have a proper Villa fix, can't you? Next weekend.
I'm thinking that then you got Chelsea on Tuesday. It's pure Villa, pure arousal, basically.
Oh bloody hell, Chris! Reece is starting now.
but it'd be good to see what they're up to. We can chat about it next week.
Definitely.
But yeah,
see you under the lights.
Oh, look at that.
Love it.
Thank you for listening to the Every Week We Follow podcast. Please click the subscription button ready to hear next week's. Remember, for all the latest news, articles,
match day information, pre and post match reports, please go to www.everyweekwefollow.co.uk. Please give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram, and give us a like on Facebook with regards to more updates and information. Thank you.